Hello, I'm Bill Gates, Chairman of Microsoft. In this video,
Pursuing Google in the search industry. Google's search engine is an invincible competitor for Microsoft, and this company should stop competing with Google in the field of search engine. Microsoft's only current hope for the future of In the following video, this ambiguous question will be explained to you. 25 fascinating facts about Microsoft you probably didn't know. Microsoft is now one of the most valuable companies in the world. Usually the position of this company and Apple to take the title of the most valuable company in the world is constantly changing. This company was founded in 1975 by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. And now nearly 40 years later, it has launched many successful products and revolutionized the world of personal computers. Now Microsoft has very popular products. Windows 10 is currently the most popular PC operating system around the world. The company's Xbox division is also often seen as one of the mainstays of the video game world in the near future. Office products are also one of the most essential applications for millions of people everywhere in our current world. Mentioning the Surface series of products is probably not necessary because some of the best laptops in the world today belong to this collection. In addition to the many widely used products of this company, its impact on the world of technology is another reason for its fame. However, we will continue to reveal 25 remarkable facts that you probably don't know. So stay with us. Where does the name Microsoft come from? The name of this company was chosen by one of its founders. Bill Gates sent a letter to Paul Allen decades ago in 1975, before the company was founded. The content of the mentioned letter was the first time that the Microsoft name was officially used. Bill Gates used the word Microsoft in that letter because this phrase was a combination of two different words, i.e. microcomputer and software. Later, when the company was officially registered in 1976, the dash between the words was removed to officially change the company's name to Microsoft. Microsoft's first operating system is not MS-DOS. While many people think that Microsoft's first operating system was MS-DOS, in fact, before this operating system was developed, Microsoft also developed another operating system. The operating system was known as Xenix. This operating system is actually a customized version of Unix that was developed by Bell Labs for AT&T in the early 70s. With permission from AT&T, Microsoft developed the Xenix version and then distributed to hardware manufacturers such as Intel and Cisco. Office software was first released on Macintosh. Office software with Windows is one of the most popular products in the history of Microsoft. Although this collection is known along with Windows, but in fact the applications of the Office collection were first released on the Macintosh operating system. The reason behind this decision seems quite logical. Back in 1989, when the first Office products were released, Macintosh computers were more popular than Windows PCs, and the initial release of these products seemed to do better for Macintosh. A year after the release of the first version of Office, this suite was also available for Windows. Folders that are never created. Windows is an operating system that Microsoft has used many tricks and Easter eggs in its creation. One of them is the fact that you cannot create a folder named Con in Windows. Not believably, try it now to see one of the strangest facts in the history of Windows up close. Bill Gates, the youngest billionaire of his time. Microsoft has a proven track record of generating huge fortunes for its founders. Bill Gates achieved a fortune of $1 billion in 1987 before his 32nd birthday. This made him the youngest rich man in the world at the time. Microsoft, the manufacturer of the first tablet. While Apple is known for the production and release of iPad tablets in 2010, this company is not the manufacturer of the first generation of tablets. In fact, these tablets were first invented by Microsoft. Long before Apple in 2001, Bill Gates introduced the prototype model of a tablet PC based on Windows XP, but the market was not ready to accept it. The product was incredibly thick, heavy, and so bulky that no one considered it a portable device. Even though many hardware manufacturers released such tablets to the market, but in the end this product experienced a hard failure. In other words, before 2010, tablets never managed to appear as influential and popular as expected. Also, the manufacturer of the first smartwatch. Microsoft is one of the most influential companies in history in many ways, but some of its products were released very early. In other words, this company has always moved ahead of its time and the market was not ready to accept its product. In addition to tablets, Microsoft produced the world's first smartwatch in 1994. This smartwatch was produced in collaboration with Timex and was known as Timex Data Link 150. The watch used a small LCD display that could be connected to a Windows-based PC to receive data such as appointments. It may not seem believable, but this watch was also water resistant to a depth of 100 meters. However, like the fate of tablets, this Microsoft product did not achieve widespread success and only a few units were sold. Redmond is not the birthplace of this company. While everybody knows Microsoft by the name of Redmond, Washington, but in fact the company was not originally founded in this region. Microsoft was actually officially founded on April 4, 1975 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Later, in 1985, the headquarters of the company was moved to Redmond. The strange design of the original Xbox. The original Xbox is known as one of the biggest successes in Microsoft's history as a video game console. This console is still compared to Sony's PlayStation 2 and is cited as one of the factors that led to Sega's exit from the console industry. The design of this console was beautiful and its hardware was powerful, but its initial design seemed strange and illogical. The initial design of the Microsoft console was a bulky object in the shape of the English letter X. Fortunately, Microsoft decided to reconsider and chose the design we know now for mass production. Apple was trying hard to come back in the last year of the 20th century. The company had long ago fired Steve Jobs in the 80s, and without proper plan and strategy, it was chaotically launching new products one after another. The high cost of supplying inappropriate and unplanned products had pushed this company to the brink of bankruptcy in 1997. Finally, Microsoft, or Bill Gates in other words, arrived. In those years, he signed a contract with Steve Jobs, who had just returned to Apple. Microsoft invested $150 million in Apple, and in return, Apple withdrew the lawsuit it had filed earlier. However, the main reason Microsoft invested in Apple was a real competition. In those years, Microsoft was under pressure from the American government due to its exclusive presence in various markets. Therefore, the revival of Apple would help Microsoft to acquire a worthy competitor and finally solve such problems. The creator of this competitor prevented Microsoft from splitting into several different divisions. Microsoft was not Bill Gates' first company. Microsoft was not the first company founded by Bill Gates and Alan Paul. Before founding the world's largest technology company, these two jointly founded Data. The company was founded when both of them were still in high school. This company was engaged in making simple computers for counting and processing traffic data. Countless patents that never became a product. In its history, Microsoft has bought nearly 200 different companies and now owns several tens of thousands of different patents. In fact, many of these takeovers have been to acquire existing patterns to file newer ones. Microsoft did not have a website until 1993. This may seem strange because the internet in the 19 was known as Internet Explorer, which is owned by Microsoft. But in any case, the company did not have an official website until 1993. The first virus in the history of Windows. Windows was virus-free for nearly a decade until someone decided to change the situation. The first Windows operating system virus, known as WinWare 1.4, was released in 1992. Microsoft is not a software vendor. When you buy a Windows 10 original disk, you don't actually own the software on the disk. You only get a license to use that software, and Microsoft can stop providing it at any time. As a result, Microsoft has never sold software and will never sell it. This billion-dollar company has only been active in selling various software licenses. In other words, you can get a license especially for using Windows or Office, but you will never own the software. Learn about Office Word. As we said, Microsoft is very fond of Easter eggs and various secrets. An interesting Easter egg in Office Word allows you to access huge explanations of this software. Just type RAND 299 into the software environment and hit enter. Boom. Enjoy your long text. However, before making the first Xbox, Microsoft did not have much experience in the field of hardware and only produced mouse and keyboard. In this way, it is not so strange to say that the first product of this company was a mouse that was produced under the name Microsoft Mouse. These mice were supplied with Office and Notepad software and were used when personal computers were based on text-based operating systems and did not require mouse for control. Excel, Microsoft's first popular software. Microsoft had achieved many successes in the field of operating system, but before 1985, it did not achieve any impact in the field of software. In the same year, the first version of Excel for Macintosh was introduced and quickly became successful. The Microsoft software was so popular that it superseded Lotus 1, 2, 3 as well as Apple's VisiCalc, which were previously used as Excel alternatives. The continued success of Excel in the early 1990s made Microsoft one of the major software developers. The release of the first Microsoft Office suite in 1989 brought this company to a strong and powerful position among the huge flood of software developers. Xbox stands for DirectX. Only very few users know that the word Xbox stands for DirectX Box. DirectX is an API developed by Microsoft for applications that use 3D rendering. Video games form the main spectrum of such applications, so every Xbox uses DirectX to play video games. Therefore, with the introduction of the new generation Xbox Series X console, this issue is closer to the truth and is acronym than ever before. The console is based on the x86 architecture and runs a customized version of Windows 10. Didn't he teach you anything? This console is like a gaming PC with a smaller body that plays video games. The first version of Windows was released in 1985. Windows 1, the first operating system equipped with a graphical user interface, was released in 1985 by Microsoft. This operating system received many negative reviews at the time of its release due to its powerful system requirements. However, many reviewers dismissed those reviews because of the use of a mouse. At that time, most existing operating systems were text-based, and operating systems with graphical user interfaces were considered a new but fleeting fad. The behavior that was also applied to the other graphical user interface operating systems of that time, i.e. Macintosh. But let's look at it a few decades later. Were they fleeting? As of this writing, it doesn't seem that way. Bill Gates had a strange name for Windows. While Bill Gates is a true genius when it comes to software development and coding, he doesn't seem to have a very strong marketing skills. When the first version of Windows was under development, Bill Gates chose the name of this operating system Interface Manager, and interestingly, it was used as the official name for a while. It was here that the marketing department heard the name and strongly insisted that Windows would be a much better name for Microsoft's new operating system. Eventually, Gates embraced the idea, and now, decades later, we still love Windows. Many users still use Windows XP. Windows XP is undoubtedly the most successful operating system produced by Microsoft and probably the most popular product released by this company. Of course, it should be considered that Windows 10 is getting closer to occupying this position day by day. This operating system was the undisputed king of the personal computer market for almost a decade before the release of Windows 10. Even today, a small amount of all the users in the world use this Windows on their personal computers, or at least it can be said that a number of countries have higher statistics in this regard. But the situation is different in Armenia, where about 42% of personal computers are still equipped with Windows XP, and the statistics are much higher. Microsoft's first major product, PC-DOS. While Microsoft had produced products before the 80s, the first major product of this company was produced in 1980 in cooperation with IBM. At the time, IBM was a big name in the hardware industry, and the company contacted Microsoft to develop an operating system for one of the company's home computers. This operating system was known as PC-DOS, and as you can probably guess, it was a text-based operating system. The value of this collaboration at the time was $50,000, which including inflation is now nearly $165,000. $1,000 capital or $1.6 million profit. If someone had invested $1,000 in Microsoft IPO, they would now have $1.6 million worth of stock. This shows how much the company has progressed and grown over the past 30 years since the stock offering. Misconceptions about Windows 10. With the release of Windows 10, a new era in Microsoft's history was marked. This course is in sync with software as a service, which has become a trend worldwide. Therefore, before the introduction of Windows 11, it was thought that Windows 10 would be the last version of Microsoft operating system. Pursuing Google in the search industry, Google's search engine is an invincible competitor for Microsoft, and this company should stop competing with Google in the field of search engine. Microsoft's only current hope for the future of mobile is the future of search in the world, and of course the company's mobile policy is also facing problems. In other words, the Google search complex has diverted Microsoft from its most important parts, Windows Mobile and the cloud system, which are considered the platform of the next generation computers.